Hi guys, I had a request for this one. What is going on with the new source of supply? And you might be looking at the narcissist relationship, their new relationship, and be like, "Oh my God, look, they're so in love. What the heck? I can't believe it. What happened with us? And now they're with this new person." And if they're like the more exhibitionist type, they're going to be flashing that shit all over social media. They're going to be showing all their awesome photos of how wonderful their new romance is and how deeply in love they are, all of that, right? And typically this can come on the tails of something really weird, which is you might have been in a 10, 15, 20-year relationship with them, especially if they're the covert type, and they just weirdly and seamlessly like slipped into this other relationship and this other life with no break, with no in between. These are people that have overlap in almost all their relationships. They had been grooming that source of supply for a long time before you guys ever broke up. They had been planning it for quite some time, typically, right? So you might be looking at it, and of course that's weird in and of itself. Normal people that are healthy, I should say healthy people, take some breaks between relationships to heal and do some self-reflection and do some introspection and be like, what was my part in this? How did I contribute to this breakup? That's what healthy people do, right? But not the narcissists, right? They're just like, they just people are just like single serving packets, and they're like robots that just like slip into this new life. And they can even do this if they have kids or stepkids. All of a sudden they can be in like this new family, like slip into this new family, and it's so weird. You're like, what just happened? Right? So that can happen. But what you need to know about the new source of supply and the narcissist is it is all a facade, just like it was with you. Now, the new source of supply doesn't know that, just like you didn't, right? But the narcissist doesn't love that new source of supply any more than they loved you, because again, these are people that do not bond. They do not do emotional intimacy. They don't have real connections. So they never loved you. They didn't love any of their exes, not in a normal way. I mean, maybe they think that that's love, but it obviously it isn't, right? And they don't love the new source of supply. They just want that person. That person might have made more money than you. They might have, worshiped them more than you. Who knows? It could be a number of different reasons. Probably more often than not, you were onto their bullshit and you started trying to set some boundaries. Maybe you got healthier. Maybe you worked on your codependence. So you were like actually wanting a real partnership, and you realized that there was this poverty, this emotional poverty and lack of emotional intimacy in the relationship, right? And you knew and wanted something better and different. And you started asking for a real partnership, right? And maybe that person has such bad self-esteem that they haven't done any of that work, and they're okay with crumbs. But again, in the beginning, the narcissist is definitely love bombing, right? And they're sending this mask to the new relationship, which is a mask that is appropriate for that person. It's custom tailored to be that person's like dream mate, right? So when you're looking at this, if they're, splashing it all over social media, or you're hearing through friends and family that they've just like slipped into this new, situation, and you're like, what the heck? Just know like that new supply is screwed. You're the lucky one. You got away. That new supply has no idea what's in it for them, because narcissists do not change. So that relationship trajectory is going to be the same. It's going to be the idealization. They have that person on a pedestal. They can do no wrong. Then the devaluation, and then the discard, right? The devaluation can be long, slow, and over time, or it can be very sudden. Hard to say. It can go like, any number of different ways, but that relationship pattern is the same in all their relationships. And if you talk to their ex-partners, you will find out that the same thing occurred over and over again, like Groundhog Day, right? And so don't feel bad. Don't feel like jealous. Oh my gosh, you should not be jealous. You should be thanking your lucky stars that you were the one that got away. You were lucky. You got away to have a real life, a real relationship, not a fake one, not to be married or, in a relationship with somebody who is a mask, a fake person. You get the chance for a real, true intimacy with another human. But of course, you should definitely take your time off and do a lot of healing and work on yourself, including your codependence. But that new source of supply is totally screwed. It's just a matter of time. And if they were like a covert narcissist, it can be a long time. And it can be a long time before people pick up on this, because the covert ones or the sociopaths are very gifted. They're very skilled at this sort of, sick game of manipulation. And it can be a long haul with them. They can really take some time. With the overts, it's usually just it's not that long before they start their dirty tricks on the new source of supply. But they don't change, right? They don't change. They haven't done any work. They haven't taken any time off. They haven't gone to therapy. They haven't done any kind of recovery. They haven't looked at their hidden porn sex addiction. Most of them have that. Not all of them, but a lot of them do. They haven't looked at, why they keep cheating on their partners. They haven't looked at their substance use. They haven't done any work. So they haven't changed. In order to be a different, healthier person in any relationship, they would have to do some work. And that work for a narcissist is almost impossible, because these people are so disordered that they don't think there's anything wrong with them. They project onto the world. It's the world's fault. It's your fault. It's that person's fault. They don't ever take any personal responsibility, do any introspection or self-reflection, to, gain a new awareness of some of their patterns and break these dysfunctional patterns. It's just really hard for narcissists to do that. They just usually don't. So unfortunately, they're not going to change. A lot of psychologists believe that narcissists absolutely have no capacity for change, especially if they have a full-blown NPD. They just don't. They really rarely ever go to therapy. They don't go to therapy. Why would they? They're smarter than the therapist. They know better. If they do go, they lie their asses off. You cannot lie to your therapist and think that you're going to get any sort of benefit from therapy if you just lie to the therapist. So, don't be jealous. I'm sorry if you're in this state, but pity them. Pity the new source of supply, because that person is screwed. And, you are free, and you are free to work on yourself, to do some radical self-care, to heal, to address your codependency, to get some help for it. And you have the chance to be in a fully, a beautiful, authentic, deeply connected, emotionally intimate relationship with another human being, if you do not ignore the red flags, and if you cure the part of yourself that is attracted to the, pathologically disordered individuals. So I hope this helps you guys, but just, somebody asked for this, what about the new source of supply? The new source of supply is in big trouble, and it's just a matter of time. So, cheers to you. I hope you're happy, healthy, thriving, loving life, enjoying your existence, and doing radical self-care. And if you are an empath, which a lot of you guys are, all I have to say to you is the world needs empathy. The world needs empathetic people like you. You might be what helps to save the world, honestly. Being detached from our empathy is, I think, it's almost an epidemic right now. And really get in touch with your empathy and your heart and your loving and your caring, and just make sure that when you're doing that, you're giving it to the people that are, that are deserving of it, not the people that are just going to take advantage of your good-hearted, kind nature. Thanks so much. You guys have a great night. Bye.